The reason I started my podcast is because I believe, number one, I like podcasts. I'm a podcast enthusiast, man. I love just putting on my headphones and, whether I'm running or working in the yard or whatever it may be, just listening, because there's so much valuable content out there. And I really believed, and this is maybe a different conversation for a different day, but I had to work through some limiting beliefs that my voice is not important, or that people do not want to hear what I have to say. Those are some things that kept me stuck. Those are some things that kept me, kind of from using my voice in order to help other people. Yeah. Once I worked through those things and I realized, I've got important things to say, I feel equipped to be able to come alongside people and provide them valuable content. Let's start a podcast. And it was intimidating. Yeah. There was such a learning curve, from everything to studio setup to how to find guests to, finding your flow, finding your conversation, what that needs to look like, what that needs to feel like. But I love podcast in that it's free media that provides great value to people exactly where they are. Yeah. And I wanted to be one of those voices. So cool. And I say that. I didn't want to be because I'm an introvert and it scared me to death. But I really felt like that was the next step for me. Yeah. You can post on social media all day and that's fine and that's good. And that's part of my strategy. Yeah. But to me, when people really get to know you through a podcast, absolutely, they get to know your voice. They get to know your tone. They get to know what you stand for. They get to know what you believe in. They get to know what's important to you. And like, there's times I'll be interviewing someone and I'll say, well, we're going to talk about this because it's my podcast. You can take that a lot of different ways, but I feel like that's a very valuable way to communicate your message. Yeah, absolutely. And so then whenever I started, the hardest thing for, I think, someone like me, just a guy in a office, starting a podcast, is helping people find your podcast. You can search, but unless you have one of those buzzwords in your show, people aren't going to find you. Nobody's going to be Googling RevRx unless they mean to, or unless they're misspelling something. So I'm like, how do I find people? And that was where FONZI was, where we had a conversation. How can people find me? Mm-hmm. I feel like my content's valuable, and I feel like the feedback has been outstanding. Yeah. But how do I help people find me? And we walked through some of those avenues. I tried some of the paid ads. I tried some of the paid promotion, but I'll be honest with you. My greatest asset towards finding really the path for podcast promotion has been organic growth. Mm-hmm. There's just something that, especially because what I said about podcasting, people learn about you. Yeah. And so some random person that may be, paid to pull up my episode and listen to it, that's not going to me, that's not going to make a lasting impact. What's going to make a lasting impact is people hearing my voice on social media, promoting it by clips that I make, showing the conversation, the type of conversations I'm having, showing the value that my guests bring onto my show, showing the things that I love and care about. Yeah. And through promoting it that way organically, to me, that there's nothing better than, just organic growth. And I've received a lot of that. Podcasting is a long game, as you guys know, and you're not going to double in followers every week. But, I find a lot of value in that. People following me, people following my show because I'm in line with what they believe in and they think I can help them.